Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World Cup Fantasy Football 2022. In today's video, I want to look at my team and basically start again for match day 1. I want to go through my strategy on creating a team and my strategy on when I might use the boosters. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and drop a like on the video as it helps my channel out a lot. Now, just to let you guys know again that this game hasn't fully updated yet. There's still players yet to be added to this game, and when that happens, I'll post another video out anyway. I'm going to be posting a lot more before we hit the deadline anyway this week, so watch out for that as well. Now, when creating a team, I want to kind of like focus on the nations that I want to bring into my my team. So like from, I don't know, Group B, right? I want to bring a lot of England players because I think this could be a good kind of group for them to do well in. Group C, Argentina. Group D, France and Denmark. Group E, Spain, Germany. Group F, maybe Belgian players and Croatia maybe. Group G, we've got Brazil. Group F, we've got Portugal and Uruguay. So these are just some of the nations that I'm looking at to bring players from. Now, and that's going to cost a lot. So what I did was, I thought, why don't I pick a couple of really cheap players to start the team really. Now, the players that you're seeing right now, I have no idea if they're going to start. But that's the beauty, right? We will look at the friendly stuff. We will look at who will actually start, and if some of these cheap players actually starts, they might be very useful for our teams, because we in this game we need to utilize all of the players that we have in our squad. But I just want to scrape as much as money as possible just to see what we can do with it. Okay, so as for goalkeepers, as you can see, the cheapest goalkeepers we can get is around 4 million. For the defenders, this is quite of an interesting one, is actually 3.5, 3 million. So there's a couple of 3 million players here. But of course, once the game updates, that will update, we'll probably get more. But we've got a lot of 3 million defenders that is definitely going to help us out creating a proper good squad. If only we can find out that they are fit and ready and they are like in the starting 11s, then they will definitely going to help us out. So don't worry about the players that I got right now. I'm just scraping up as much as money as possible. Now more for midfielders, as you can see, 4 million is the cheapest, which is good to know. And as for the forwards is 4.5. Another good thing to see. But I think in this game, striker positions, we really need to go big. So saying that, let's start creating a team. We're just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to go with the flow. And I'm going to bring in like Harry Kane, Neymar, Messi. Great players. Fantastic players. Best probably captain options here. And pretty much the players that is like the focal point of their team. Okay. They're on penalties, some of the free kicks and so on. So these are the players that are definitely going to get a lot of returns. So yeah, we sorted that out, right? Obviously there's Mbappe and so on and stuff like that, but we're going to talk to you guys about that in a second. Now for midfielders, let's just say we've got Kevin De Bruyne. Let's go and get Sane. Let's just start adding players in, right? Maybe Foden if we want to go for him as well. I'm not. Well, what's going on here? What's happened? Still midfielders. We need midfielders. We don't want to change things around here. Let's go for maybe Modric. Yeah. Okay, we've got 60 million. It's not. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we can't go too big on this, and this thing always changes. Let's go for maybe Gundogan. Oh, we've got all our midfielders. So we've got all midfielders, and we've got 16 million in the bank to get 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 more players. Okay. I know this ain't the best team in the world, but it's good to see, right? Let's not do price. Let's do ownership. Let's get Cancelo. Let's get Trippier. Let's get Melee as well because I like him in my team. And as you can see, we're missing a little bit of money. Okay, we need to kind of cut down on one of the players. Maybe Foden could be too much here. Let's go and bring Pavard. And let's bring in another midfielder. We've got 4 million. Don't really want 4 million like really cheap players. We do want to have a little bit of a good balance. So I don't really want to remove that. I think this is good. Cancelo could be a player that I could downgrade and get a cheaper player. Sane is a great player. He is definitely someone that I really want. So I could remove Cancelo, but I think Sane could be the one that has to make way. And this is just an example, right? This is just kind of like to help us kind of create the team that we want. I like Gundogan because, you know, he's on penalties. And we've got 5.5 for a, was it the defender? No, what might I have to do? A midfielder, 5.5. Still not the best there. So we've got to remove some money from the defense. Let's get a cheap player that could do well. Let's get in Shaw. That's 5 million. That's not that cheap. And we've got midfielder slot. Okay. Probably Trossard. There we go. So as you can see, it's actually pretty strong team. If we get like these cheap players that actually start some play, this can help us create a fantastic team like this. There's a couple of downgrades that we have to do, but we've got Messi, Neymar, Kane, De Bruyne, you know, Modric. It's really, really strong actually. So there is a possibility to actually have this kind of team. All we need to do is just figure out these cheap players. And if these cheap players, like 3 million defenders here, that is going to help us out a lot. 4 million midfielder and some of the goalkeepers that could be under 4 million as well once the game fully updates. We can create something like this. All we need to do is just figure out these cheap players that actually plays. And if they do, we could get teams like this. And it's got great captain options as well. And this is definitely a template to work with. Once we have got something like this, we just need to figure out, like I mentioned, on these players that are actually going to start. So for me though, obviously cheap players is going to be, you know, cheap players, you know, from weaker nations. They ain't going to be able to perform and bring massive amount of points like how Neymar or Messi might do, right? But the good thing is you just never know what can happen. And, you know, with 1 or 2 upgrades, we can always go for like a 4.5 defender, or maybe a midfielder that is around 5 million or 5.5. That could help us out. But looking at this game, there isn't too much that I actually want to go for that is around the 5 million mark. If I have a quick look, most of like these players that I really like, that I might need around the 5 million mark, it's not that great. There are a few like Trossard and so on, but other than that, it's quite difficult to see who might actually do really well. So I'm thinking to myself, well, why don't I just get a really cheap midfielder that actually plays and just, you know, just go for the risk, because you just never know, instead of like spreading the funds out elsewhere. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And the defenders as well. If I could get like a 3 million defender that plays, that's fantastic, right? And I can use that money elsewhere on my, like the players that I have in my team, like Trippier and Shaw, Pavard, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Neymar, Messi, Kane, Modric. You know, great players there. So this is what I thought I'll show you guys what I'm thinking to do. I'm not really worried about, you know, the main players that we all know. I'm actually worried about these cheap players. These are the ones that I want to go and figure out and who is like going to start. Obviously, there are other players in that that mid price price tags that could do really well as well, of course. But these are pretty much some of the main players on each of their nations. Like De Bruyne is the main guy there, you know. Neymar is the main guy for Brazil. Same for Messi, Kane as well, with Trippier, let's just say. Gundogan might not be, so maybe if we can scrape a little bit of money and get Sane, could be a better option there. But Modric is for his nation and so on. But yeah, that is pretty much it for that. Don't worry, I'm going to be fixing this up anyway, but let me know in the comments below what you're thinking to do. What's your team lineup? Let me know in the comments. So as for the strategy, as you can see, like for the boosters, I am going to be using one of the boosters, and the one that I want to use is actually the 12 man. I think the power captain, I can use that some other time when I'm not too sure which of my captains going to do well. Right now I kind of know, and 12 man could be a fantastic option. If that's the case, what I'm reading is I can bring in an additional player into my team. If that's the case, I'm going to be picking Mbappe against Australia. So not only I have Neymar, Messi, Kane, I'll have Mbappe as well to chip in with those extra points. So that is about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm still going to be doing the research. I'm going to be going through and looking at these cheap players to kind of help us out. Now, if these cheap players don't work out and they're not that good, fine, it's cool, right? We can remove it, have a, upgrade them a little bit, and yeah, kind of like set our team up that we're actually happy with. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope that this video has helped you guys out. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.